All right, looks like we are live. So welcome back to the 2020 World's Longest Commissioning of Days and Days. I say that jokingly, but this is actually really good. I know it feels different for you guys, flexibility. For us, this is kind of nice. We're kind of talking, I think it was yesterday, walking back to the office, and it's a little more, for us, intimate this way, because normally have a big ceremony. We kind of get everyone through, and I have 1 minute only to speak. I'm not really restricted by that right now. You're here. We get to talk more after, and get to kind of understand who's here supporting such a phenomenal cadet. So I hope it doesn't feel bad. I hope you're enjoying this. Definitely a different format than I think we've ever seen. And so these one-on-ones, they're going to go on and. Trying to think exactly what I want to say about you. So, where's mom and dad? Okay. I think you probably know you have an absolutely incredible son. Thank you so much for lending them to us. He, for the past 2 years, four semesters, has been such a pleasure. He's a natural leader, if there's such a thing. And his mentoring that he spreads to others, his patience, his humbleness, is quite astounding. So we're going to be presenting you your certificate here shortly for that part, but he can lead peers, which I still think is the hardest thing to do. When you have troops, I hope it's easier because they should trust you and you should be able to lead them in a direction. To lead your peers is a nightmare. I always joke in a very serious manner that the two worst experiences are going to SOS, Squadron Officer School, where you have 30 captains all trying to lead each other. Crazy. And the other one is, quite frankly, when you go to something like our PASS or APASS course, and there's 145 lieutenant colonels, and they all have the best ideas. And no one really, it's just, I feel so bad for Colonel Bennett having to deal with that, and he manages it amazingly. So do you. I've seen you sit in with Arnold Air Society meetings, kind of sit back, wait, listen, and then be that voice of reason. How about, or have you thought of this, or is this fair? And, to be honest, there's that little moment of pride. I'm like, they're getting it. They understand. They're taking care of the right people, and I appreciate that. I didn't do it. It's just you're getting it. And it makes me feel so much better that this is what the Air Force is going to be ran by in a very short time. So it's been my honor. I'll talk a little bit more about you afterwards, but you have a very special ability inside you, no joke, and you'll outperform all of us. So I look forward to seeing where your career goes and how well you can take care of people and all the positive changes you're going to make in the Air Force. Until then, let's make it legal, make him a lieutenant. How's that sound?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, ready for this? Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I state your full name.
I, Ryan Adam Stein,
Having been appointed a second lieutenant
having been appointed a second lieutenant
in the United States Air Force,
in the United States Air Force,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
that I will well
that I will well
and faithfully discharge
and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
upon which I'm about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Absolute honor on my part. Now, I'm going to yell at you because you're out of uniform. And we're going to have friends and family and whoever you're going to introduce get you back into a proper uniform. So please invite them up and share while they're doing it or after. And it's a free flow. Anything you want to say, I really would like you to address. Come up and let's pin on the fine lieutenant here.
Can we take our masks?
Please, absolutely. As long as you're more comfortable, I'll stay out of the way. So, and we don't know who lives with who or how's it go, but as long as you're comfortable, we're okay.
Yes,
I'm over
sir.
here. So,
All right, Mom and Dad, you guys
Need it. Yep.
are you stuck?
Yeah, yes.
It's all right.
Little mask
We got a little stuff.
All good.
No problem. Got it?
Great.
All right,
Come
come on up, into the
You should see
into the
kind of
light.
where it's framed here, so if you can, make sure you're in the picture so
All right.
people can kind of understand.
One
who's
on this shoulder.
I got a hat.
Yeah, you got the cover. These are stuck together. One on the cover, one on the shoulder.
I find these in our
Close to
washing
the shoulder.
machine all the time.
Yeah, so right now we have my mom and my dad, Adam and Shannon, my wife Sarah. Go
Hey
ahead.
guys.
So while you're putting on, is there any embarrassing stories or things you would like to share about the now newest lieutenant in the Air Force?
Oh,
I'll leave that up to Mom.
oh, no, I don't.
Embarrassing.
Not embarrassing. No.
Well, I didn't. That doesn't happen. Well, sure.
I don't know that I would say embarrassing. I would say it feels like this has been a goal for him since probably before even middle school began. That he knew this was his path and he followed it. And when you have, I work in schools, so a lot of kids have dreams, right? And when you have those dreams, you just don't, things happen, life happens, you discover other things, and you were so singularly focused on following that path. And we've been so incredibly proud of you.
How about you? You're going on this journey with him now. You kind of agreed and locked yourself into this.
I know, what the heck?
I mean, are you excited or do you
Yeah.
feel ready?
I mean, I don't think you're ever ready. I don't think we can try to prepare, but I mean, it's an adventure. It's what all of life is, no matter what career you go into, right? So we'll see what Oklahoma has.
Nothing. Yeah, I would like to clarify. You're not even going to Oklahoma. You're going to the Enid, Oklahoma. In a 30-mile radius, there is one burger joint that if you take the left out of the gate and go, that grill has been there over 120 years, and you will have the best burger that you've ever had because that grill is flavored with all
There
the
you
onions
go.
and the burgers. Besides that, nothing
Yeah.
is there. So that is what you're getting into. But it gets better.
Yeah.
They do that.
Yeah.
They do that on purpose. They try to keep them out of trouble. So they put them in areas that they're quite a far driving. So, and everyone else, we can come up and introduce them.
Yes.
And kind of let us know who everyone
It's
is.
parallel.
I didn't have a ruler. I'm so
Wow.
sorry. He like has his ruler.
Good to know he's a CTA at home too.
I was gonna say, she's a good game.
Come on,
keeper.
Hazel.
Yeah, that is
All right.
And then these are my parents.
Yeah.
And so definitely, we're glad we got married
Introduce
last year.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, wonderful to have a wedding last year in a month. So.
Well, I'm sure you're just stabbed, get up now Lieutenant McCullough in the chest because this is in a week apparently.
Right.
So
Sure, yeah.
he's over there crying on the other side of the camera now. So we were kind of talking about that.
So I'm Denise, and this is Todd Line Road. And we got to know Ryan when they just happened to go to prom together, working together at Chick-fil-A. So we have known Ryan, for a little over 5 years. And we're getting on this journey with him. And when Sarah said, Mom, you know what Ryan wants to do, don't you? I'm like, oh, he's going to become a mechanical engineer. And she's like, no. And I'm like, what? And so as a mom of a daughter getting married to, and he's a great young man, don't get me wrong, but it's scary, for my daughter, for him. But at the same time, it's also, we're very proud of him. Not a lot of young men have the ability, the gumption, the commitment, the patriotism that Ryan does. And so we're very proud of him. And we know our daughter well. We know that she's very easygoing, very go with the flow. Hey, let's have some people over and meet other people. And so I think together they're going to make a great couple, and they'll be fine. I don't worry about that part at all. But but it is not a journey that every young man or woman takes. And
I agree. There's going to be some crazy, great times. And there's going to be some lonely times apart. It's going to be really tough, whether it be deployments, whether it be training, whether it be, unfortunately, war. So it's a tough but an incredible life. And so I like seeing that you're excited about going on the journey, which I can see. So that is awesome. And anyone else like to kind of address everyone out there? You have unlimited time.
I personally would like to thank you and your team here. Sorry, I'll get through this. Like Shannon said, this has been a goal of his for a very long time. And while he has had the desire and the focus, he has also needed great mentors and leaders like you guys have instilled in him and taught him how to be a cadet and ultimately a soldier in the United States Air Force, or an airman, or whatever the proper term is. I apologize. But,
Still
you know,
learning.
we, like Sarah said and Denise said, there's a lot of unknowns. We don't know. I mean, they don't know. Nobody knows. But we are all in this together. We knew that this is what he has wanted to do for a very long time. And, you know, I've always told him, and I think Shannon would agree, that just follow your dreams. Do what you want to do. Life is too short to settle on something that you don't want to do. And he has embraced this from day one, and he has never looked back. And his freshman year, when he first came in, you know, we drop him off at school and get him all settled, and we left, and we didn't get an opportunity to see him for a little while. And the next thing you know, he's talking about AAS and everything he's doing about. And I said, well, wait, what? And he just dove headfirst into all things, you know, Air Force, ROTC. And so to have you guys there, leading him, mentoring him, encouraging him,
Inspiring him.
Can't thank you enough. So thank you and all of the members that are on your team for allowing him the opportunity, giving him the chance, and hopefully he does well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we definitely can't, unfortunately, on this one, take really any credit. You guys kind of prepped this one. This was kind of the gift that was given, and all we had to kind of say is we got to challenge him a little more, or let's throw even more at him to see. And I'll be honest, I don't think we could rattle him. I mean, we threw him into CTA. He did that. He came back and he ran that whole program. He changed kind of the way of the vets thinking. Now we have more scenario-based, you know, field training, prep training, where they're, you know, out and about and doing road guard procedures around campus. And just the evolution of this detachment is because of people like him. And then we said, okay, and then, you know, comes in the top three, and then Arnold there, he's going to go for, you know, national staff. And it gets to a point I can't throw any more at him. And we just kind of sit back and go, well, that one's been ready for about a year. And we've had a few that we could have commissioned last year. We would have had no issue. We just had to get that degree done.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, we thought, well, let's have fun and see if we can stress him a little bit. So we do what we can, and we do what we could. But he's going to be a great leader. And I can't wait to see where you go with it. I really hope in 20, 25, 30 years, you come back and take a job like this, maybe at NC State, maybe finish off an illustrious career. Or you might be running the Air Force and have your picture up on every Air Force. So, very possible. But no, it's our pleasure. And seeing the family, this is our first time I usually get to connect. For some of you, got to meet your wife. So it's kind of incredible. So thank you guys for such an incredible person. So, and if anyone else would like to
they're
speak,
two, I'll be honest, they're two very mature, very responsible, very loyal, deep in their faith together, which I think will be very important on the road ahead. So as a couple, they make each other stronger, and very proud of both of them.
Yeah, I would say that, like, for me, like, looking back and, like, the biggest thing as, like, your wife that I can ask for is for other men in your life. You know, like, I can't provide that. I can't be that person for you to push you in different ways. Like, I'm not there day in, day out. And so it's been fun for me to see him, like, be friends with Jake and Matt and Will and, like, all the guys. And, like, they push you to get better. And, like, that's something I can never provide for you. And so that's been, like, really fun for me to see him kind of just get in it and, like, go with guys and push them. And they push you and all that stuff. And I know that that's what's the future is going to look like, you know. So that's some fun for me, and you guys are ridiculous. So,
I'm glad you said it, because I don't want to, so that's perfect. He does. You have a great set of friends that you're going to know for the next 20, you've surrounded yourself by really quality people, and it's only going to get better. When you hit that Air Force, they're going to be from all over the place. And now you've had the best of the best here, and then you're going to go see the best of the best from all over, and then you're going to go best of the best in all services. Can't wait. Can't wait to see where it takes you for sure. So, anyone else from the family?
We're proud of you.
Mhm.
That's good.
Right. Well, I'm going to switch with the family then. You don't, if you're back there, you don't have to put masks on or anything. You're fine. If you like, it's up to you. So I have a few things I'd like to give to our now Lieutenant Stein. So, first one, I'd like to welcome you officially to the Air Force. We'll forego protocol on it, so no saluting. Just want to make sure you get the coin. But this is the Air Force coin. This is welcoming to your second family. Okay, larger, but definitely not more important. That is yours. So welcome to the Air Force, number one. A couple of the next things that came from our partners, USA. They send you guys another set of the rank for you to have, and they also sent you this to open up at your leisure.
This will be everywhere.
And then you just swore that oath. We felt it was important from the cadre to kind of understand where it came from and some of the meaning behind it. This does a great job of breaking that down. Some neat facts, who actually signed it, who didn't, where they were, why. And even every time I go back through it, it kind of amazes me. So I think it's important to know that oath that you're swearing to, because I think that helps you guide morally through some tough decisions in the Air Force down the road. So I hope that you enjoy it, helps you with. And then, obviously, the top 10% of each graduating class, in your class, a total of 18, gave us 1.8. We were able to go to an aggregate board to actually get 2 distinguished graduates out of this class, which is very deserving. Our 3rd, 4th, and 5th easily could, I would compete against almost anyone in this country for sure also. Before we knew, you were our shoe-in that we kind of choose, we sit down and we all debate. Sometimes it's quite an intense debate, to be very honest. For your part, it was really not too intense of a debate. We kind of said, okay, put down what you think. And if everyone agrees, it's no fun because there's nothing to argue about. So yours got easy. The next one, there was some really good discussion because we have to then look at putting the package together and everything. So for yours, this one was a clear win. This is for you. You've earned Distinguished Graduate in a heartbeat. It does go on your record forever. The certificate is just kind of for yours to flaunt and taunt your fellow lieutenants. But that is yours, and it is well deserved for sure. And then I'm trying to think, does anyone have any good stories they want to share about the lieutenant? Right? Yeah, so again, we love all of our cadets because every one we train differently or we have a different plan for. I've always disagreed with other cadets who kind of have a training plan for their people because I don't think that way. The way I have to train him to even challenge him is completely different than I can challenge another cadet, or maybe too much and I put him over the top, but I can still get that cadet to be a great officer. You're one that you kind of challenged us to kind of come up with how much more can we throw at him and what can we give you. I think the only thing I could scold you for, I think we had an extra table in here at one point. Weren't you part of the table tragedy of 2019?
I was now Lieutenant Sparth and Scoggins.
You had nothing to do with it.
Not at all, sir.
None.
Not at
See,
all.
that's
You
different.
Probably has the intel.
Well, wasn't it your program that they were moving those
Yes.
tables and? I mean, now I'm reaching. That's about all I can really get on you. But we are short one table in this wonderful room because of some now lieutenants. We'll leave their names. So he's just probably afraid because they now outrank him by at least a day. So you're going to be a great leader. You already are. It's just a matter of how far you want to take it. There's going to be a lot of times you're going to wonder, do I want to stay? Take your time before you decide to leave. Okay. But we're happy to turn this Air Force over to you. I'm going to turn the floor over to you. That is all yours. Please address them for as long as you would like.
All right.
Yeah.
So thank you all for being here. First things have to go to Mom and Dad. you guys know that this has been a dream of mine for years and years and years, and as long as I can probably remember, talking about flying and just being amazed by all that goes on with that. And so this has always just kind of been the dream, like you guys said. And you've been there the whole way along, supporting me and through tough times and not so tough times. Just the support has been incredible, and I know that I couldn't have done it without you guys. Sarah, you're my rock. And you know, it's been a tough 5 years in college. There's been some late nights, and we were away for a long time. But you've always been there for me, and you continue to be there for me. And I know that you will be there for me, and we're going to need that going forward, like we talked about. Todd, Denise, thank you for giving her to me and allowing her to come on this journey with me.
Don't let her call you her dad.
Just the support from you guys for the past 5 years as well has been awesome. And to everybody out there, thank you for tuning in. And I know some of you, I wish we could be here in person. This is just the way that it turned out. Want to give a special shout out to Gary and Michelle Kemp, Nan and Papa. You guys were kind of pushing me towards this the whole way along ever since I was very, very little. Papa, I wish you could be here to give me my first salute, but we'll have to reschedule that event, and we'll catch you soon. So thank you all watching out there. And with that, is there anything else with this, sir?
Well, we're definitely going to give you a huge round of applause. Normally, we usually shut off the camera. There's usually some things we'll talk about and do off camera. But over the last commissioning, there's a now Lieutenant McCullough, who after we shut that TV and camera down, all of a sudden we hear "Go Blue," which I was pretty proud of. And then something he never told us, besides the twin sister who went to UNC, was that his fiance, that they're getting married next week, that her father graduated from probably the greatest school ever, University of Michigan. So do you have any of these deep hidden secrets that you want to reveal before we turn the camera on? Is anyone here secretly a Wolverine? Is anyone?
Go Buckeyes.
There.
I might have to turn that camera on now.
I only claim one in the blue dress.
Yeah.
So.
That's fair. Can't believe during this we heard a buck. Can't even say the whole word. Oh no. They do that because they don't know how to spell. Yeah, we better. Let's shut her down, folks. This one's over.
Thanks, everybody.
Good job.